What's up, you guys? It's Jonno. Welcome to another episode of Grounded 2. Today I want to show you a bug auto killer that I built on the live stream last night. You can see this is a little tower platform made from some roofs, and it's surrounded by a whole bunch of spike traps. And as the bugs try and come to get you during their aggro cycle, they just run right over the spike traps and they get taken out. And then if you want to take them out a little bit faster, you can go ahead and use the turret as well. So this is a nice little setup, and I really wanted to share this with the Grounded 2 community and just let you guys know that this is a really interesting setup you can use to auto kill bugs, and you can also use it to defend your base against raids. So I'm going to show you a little bit of how this works. I'm going to show you how to build it real quick, and then I'll also show you how it defends against raids as well. So we'll go ahead and jump right into the build. It is 4 thatch roofs and 4 thatch corner roofs. Very simple. Then you just are going to put them around in kind of a circular or a square design, whatever you want to call this thing here. And then you're going to go ahead and put a little floor there and put the dome. And I did that about as fast as possible. It's a really simple build, so I didn't want to spend too much time on that. I don't think you guys will have any trouble with the build. And then you can see once you get on top with the turret there, you can actually fire in any direction, including down underneath you, which is really handy. So we'll go ahead and show off that footage that I showed in the beginning of the video again in full. This is the whole little battle, and you can see that the ladybug took about half of its damage just by walking over those spike traps. I do recommend to take those spike traps out to about 5, 6, maybe even 7 layers deep. This is a really basic, quick setup that I put together just for the video on the live stream last night, and it worked out really well. This was my first experiment to see if it would work. I didn't even realize I would get 3 ladybugs in this location, or that they would all aggro me. Once I aggro one ladybug, they all came after me, but the base performed like a champ. It's just a little outpost. You can put this anywhere on the map and then defend yourself. I'm not sure if it will defend against every single type of creature. I'd like to see what it does against scorpions in particular, but for these ladybugs, for the early game, and for the raids that will be spawning at your base, you're going to do just fine with this setup. So I recommend to put this outside your base somewhere. One of the key things that you need to know about the raids that will keep spawning at your base is they're actually spawning on you. They're not spawning on your base. It took me a long time to figure that out. So you can actually call the raid to your location, and I'm going to show you that during this video. So once we go ahead and set up all the spike traps, basically once the lady starts saying that she's going to come after you, or the stranger they're calling her, so once she says she's going to do a raid, you want to make sure that you're upgrading your base, repair everything, and then make sure that your spike traps are all good to go, just like I'm doing here. Make sure you got plenty of rows of spike traps around this thing, because that's the real auto killer function. You don't even have to fire a single shot if you have enough spike traps. And also keep in mind that you won't be able to use concrete traps for this design, because the concrete traps act as a wall and they'll actually keep bugs from walking over them. These work really well because the bugs can walk over multiple spike traps at the same time, especially the very large bugs like ladybugs. They'll be covering multiple spike traps and taking all that damage. So let's go ahead and look at a raid now. We've got the stranger letting me know that she is on her way. It takes about 15 to 20 minutes between the time that she first says that she's going to show up until the time she does show up. And then she's got one last warning right before she shows up, and that's your cue to go down to your defending base thing here. So just get out of your base, get away from your main base, and go down to this thing, and then the raid will spawn on you at your little outpost, and it won't spawn inside your base. Now, I did make a little mistake here. I built this thing right underneath my base, and I was wondering, is that darn blue butterfly gonna spawn inside my base? And sure enough, it did spawn inside my base, so that wasn't exactly ideal, but the auto killer function did work extremely well for everything that spawned on the ground. We'll go ahead and show you that here in just a minute. We're waiting for the incoming orc wave, and then once that orc wave comes, you just want to jump into the turret, and then they're all going to aggro you and try to get to you. And you can see that it's auto killing everything. They are fighting with my buggy just a little bit, so you may want to pull your buggy out of there, because then they won't aggro you and they aggro your buddy. It's okay, they're just going to knock him out and then they'll come to you afterwards, but probably worth noting to just get your buggy out of there, maybe deposit it, and then once you get all the ants to come at you, that basically takes them out automatically. Or if for some reason, like in this case, they don't want to come at me anymore, you can just shoot them because you got your turret right there as well. So it's a really effective auto killer, and in the cases where it doesn't auto kill everything, you can just take them out with the turret. Alright, so the last little bit of this video, I did want to mention that the blue butterfly spawned inside my base. That was not ideal. I was really hoping that wouldn't happen. I need to test this thing a couple more times and see if maybe I need to move it a little bit further away from my base. I shouldn't have built it right underneath my base. I kind of thought that the butterfly was going to spawn in there. Luckily, the butterfly didn't do any damage. And then once I realized I probably wasn't going to be able to knock it out easily from down here, although I was doing damage, I'm not sure exactly how. Maybe I was shooting in between my floors there because there is that little gap. But I decided let's just run up there, take it out, and then this is really strange. Stick around for it for just an extra second, you guys. The butterfly, I go to take it out, I've got a really good lock on it, and then it just disappears. Very strange, never seen anything like that before. So it disappeared out of my base, and I didn't get the kill, I didn't get the bug parts, but it did say that I completed the raid. So somebody explain that one to me down in the comments. Alright, that's going to be it for this one, you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll be back at it with another episode to refine this base and make it a little bit better. Thanks everybody for watching, thanks to all my amazing subscribers, and peace!